This is Damon Stephen, the FinWell Builder. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022, in the stock market update for trades of the day. Anybody want to talk about who blew out GameStop and went a lot higher in the last couple of days of trading, up to $2,600 per share? Let's talk about tonight as we get into our videos, as well as talk about how the day went. How do we plan for the next trades here going through the rest of this week here? So let's get right into it. Look at some charts here and see what's going on. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, definitely go to FinWealth Live on YouTube and subscribe so you can continue to see these videos, and we can bring this content to you throughout the week. We also bring a Sunday night video as well to get you prepped for the week so that you're always prepared and you know what we're looking at as we're going in the market. And you can also get to our Discord here where we post our trades of the day every morning before the market even opens with entry and exits for each stock that we're looking at. So just click on that non-member Discord, or if you're a member, go ahead and just log in and take a look at what's going on. And also take a chance to look at our video here on the homepage. Tell you a little bit about our company and what we do. With that said, let's get into it. Look at the market. You can see Dow Jones closed down 1.23%, NASDAQ 0.16% down, and S&P 500 0.67% on the downside. Look at the Dow Jones, see that pull down here? Definitely an area to watch, making sure this is just a minor pullback, and then we go back up. If the Dow Jones has another really down day, just going to be more cautious in the market that maybe this is just not a slight pullback. That's much more. But take that said, you can see here, Google did well. Tesla, held its own. Overall, the market kind of, pulled back a little bit across the board. Looking at our scanner, MTC, big old rocket ride on MTC, APDN, a rocket ride, AMTT. So our small caps really have come into play the last few days. But the one I want to talk about is this HKD, and we'll cover this one as well as the ones that we looked at today as well and traded. But look at HKD. If you traded this one, I hope you got some profits out of it, and congratulations. But boy, just be careful with these because you just do not know how high these are going to go. So you can see here HKD. If we go back to the 28th of July, just a few days ago, the stock was at $69. And yesterday, it opened at $289 and closed. The high was $951. And then it pulled back at night and came up and opened up this morning at $671 and ran to $2,589. Absolutely crazy. I've never seen a stock melt up this fast. And it had multiple stops today. It just kept stopping. Every time it opened up, it closed right back. Just crazy, crazy. And look at these huge gap jumps. You're looking at, $300 or $400 jumps in price. Just crazy. So I'm not telling you to trade this one. Definitely won't trade now. Nobody kind of really knows how to get in and out of this one now at this point. I mean, it is supporting it on the 20 and it bounced off there. I was very tempted to just throw some gamble money at it right there when it hit the 20 and was getting ready to bounce, but I didn't because I want to be disciplined and not trade the FOMO because I know how volatile and risky these are. So I just watched it. It's on one of my charts. But crazy, crazy, crazy. And I can just see this drop clear right back down here. So I don't even know if it'll last as long as GameStop. And there's nothing, no news. The company didn't know anything about why it jumped. It was just traders getting out there and deciding to see how they can pump a stock, and probably short coverings in there as well. But just a crazy, crazy day. Enough said about that. Let's take a look at a couple others. So APDN, so you see here, it's been on this decline. Back here in 2021 November, it was around that $6 range, and it just kind of slowly declined down to about 65 cents. And then today, for some reason, hit the scanner this morning, pre-market, just started jumping up here and just started climbing. And you see here, we were at 65 cents and climbed clear up to almost $5. So, and here's 587. So this is kind of that range that it was going to. It's pulled back and it's just barely under 5 right now. Got a little support line here, where we got maybe a range that we had before this broke down. So we'll see if we can hold in here. But wow, what a crazy move. But you can see here where, where it was at. And this is kind of a consolidation area. So we'll see if it holds, see if it gives us anything more. But definitely wanted to, show you what was going on there. And that did hit the scanner early today. Revlon, it's been a multi-day trade. See, we're down here at 427. And you see here that we came up, hit 990, pulled back, hit the our resistance line again at 1070, and then we pull back. We're below the 20. We just looks like we broke the 50 as well. So not too confident in this holding. If it gets below 8, definitely off the docket. If it come down to 8, can bounce and run back up, then that's another thing. But you see here, yesterday overnight, it was able to hold above the 20, where now it's not. So a little bit weak. Not sure if this is going to be an additional day trade. You can see here on the daily chart. See back here on June is when it hit $9. Up here we spiked, on the second day, almost $11 before pulling back here into this range. So just another one to be careful of. QRTEB, this one. So you put a double top in here. So we had this run up to about 2150, almost hit 22 today. So a little bit higher low, higher high, and then we pull back here on the 50-day. We're sitting on the 20, so we'll see if we get another run at this, see if we can hit the trend line again. But right now, we have pulled back a little bit. So just be careful if you're trading that one. This is kind of a monthly chart, just so you see kind of where the price came from. So if you look at here, the price came from, July or June 1st is where we were at this level before. That's kind of where this huge spike up right to it. So we'll see what it decides to do, but definitely not one to chase. I mean, it can continue spiking up here, like it did over 2250 and continue to run up. But, it could pull back real quick too. So just be careful that one. Looking at live, right, E-mini futures. This is live right now. This trades 24/7. And you can see here that we come down and we look like we tagged this little support line down here at 4084. So we are below 4100 again, maybe, hitting the bottom of a trend. You see here how we had consolidation here. Very well could be that we consolidate here as well before making a decision of either breaking out or breaking down. So just be careful on that one. Looking at tomorrow, so we have PMI numbers, PMI service numbers coming out. So that's definitely something to be aware of. It comes out 9:45, so just shortly after the market's open. So just make sure you're careful around that area. If you see volatility, you'll know where it's coming from. Looking at our calls and puts, you see here, again, more people shorting the market than long. All these red are people who are short on put contracts. Everybody in green are on call or long call. So something to watch for. You see here, definitely more people thinking the market's coming down. Look at earnings here, AMD, PayPal, Oxy, SoFi. Airbnb is the only one that I really traded today. I think I have a chart on it here. I'll show you here in a minute, but I was able to capture some of this. I didn't capture the whole thing, but definitely was able to grab a hold of this. And I'll be watching these in the morning, mostly Airbnb probably. Also be watching Moderna. I was considering, whether or not this is going to go long. I'm looking at NVAX and BNTX are the ones I look kind of compare with, and then also Pfizer. Pfizer's down too. Moderna's down, but BNTX and NVAX are up. So I'm not quite sure where this is going yet. So I'll be watching it in the morning, just hopefully before it opens. Also Under Armour and CVS and Yum down here as well. Afternoon, not as concerned about the afternoon. Thursday will be another interesting day. But as we wind down, earnings just aren't going to be as interesting, aren't going to swing as much. So just something to be aware of. Tesla, look at Tesla on one day. See here, it got definitely rejected right off here, this candle. And we come down and we try to spike it again today and pull back again. So definitely find resistance in that area. So what we want to look for is, do we consolidate in this area, kind of like what we did back here, or we break this line? If we break this line, we're coming down here back and retesting these candles here. But so far, so good. We're almost above this candle here and definitely above this larger candle. So just looking to see if we get a continuation play up on this small pullback we had today. So here's Airbnb. So here's kind of the day. See, kind of ramped up here. And then on the announcement, we broke down below all the moving averages and then came back up a little bit. And it came over the 200 and broke the 200. And then we're again back below everything. So this was my entry candle. And you see here, it kind of pulled all the way down here to 104. Now we kind of curled back up here and we're back above the 20-day. Just a scalp trade. Just got a little bit off of it, and I was happy with that. Microsoft, you see here, we got up to that trend line. We talked about this. We got up to resistance here, and we pulled back down, and we found support on the 100. So we could become range bound here. You can see we kind of range bound here for a little bit for a few days and a few days here as well. So we'll see what happens, but this is kind of the channel that we kind of entered into right now. Amazon kind of hovering on this little island here. So definitely have gaps below it. It's definitely, it doesn't have a choice. It would want to come down yet at this point. But definitely at some point, either the moving averages are going to have to come up here to meet it, or it's going to come down. So definitely keeping an eye on that for potential a break and dip. Apple, little island here, looking for a pullback here. We're right, elevated here. We weren't above the range here when we pulled back. So, but we are right now. So we'll see what happens. Chipotle is kind of up here. It's kind of, you can see here, just kind of flattened out after earnings. So we'll see, if it consolidates here for a while, or is it going to possibly pull back here? But, I probably should move this up here because that'd be easier to represent where that range is. So we could just kind of chop through this little range for a while. NVIDIA tagged the 100, rejected off of it, came back down about halfway. Retracing that move about halfway. So we'll see if it can bounce off here. But again, like we talked about this in the video, this was range bound. We're range bound here. And very well, we could be starting a range here where we kind of go back and forth for a while until the stock's ready to break out. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. And definitely check out our this home video. This will tell you more about us. But definitely like our videos, and then we can continue bringing this content to you. Look at US oil. US oil pulled back here as it was trying to make a run up here to break out. Failed, came back in our triangle and below the moving averages, except it's still above the 200. So looking to see if it is a continuation wedge here, or can we break back out again? Dollar popped back up here. It popped up above the 20-day moving average and then came back down. This is very strong, and this could also be a channel here where we could just kind of be range bound. So we'll see if it is. But as the dollar comes up, that means money's coming out of the market, and that means we're more likely to have a pullback. Looking at gold. Gold, you can see here, it rejected. It rejected off of our trend line here. Rejected again. 3 times, came back up. Now we're right at this rejection area again. So we have, the third day here up at that area. We haven't broke through. The longer it stays up here, the more likely it can, try to break through it. But we'll see tomorrow. If it hangs out here, I can see possible breakthrough. If not, then at some point it's going to pull back. We're going to have the VIX pull down here through this narrow channel. It's right on the edge of the channel to possibly break out here. So keeping our eye on that to see if the VIX is going to spike. If it does spike up, market's coming, we're going to start pulling back. If it doesn't spike up here, we can stay in this channel, then look for additional movement to the north side in the stock market. So here's VIX on the weekly. You can see here this little pull up here. We really need to stay down here below 25 if we want to keep the market running on this bull run. If it starts to spike through here, it'll be over. The bears will come back into play. So just kind of keep an eye on that VIX, especially before the open of the market. The SPY 1 day. See, we've just been in this channel moving up. We're above this resistance area here on our deviation bands. You can see here last time we were there, we rejected. So just looking to see, do we pull back and reject off here as well? If we do break this 407 area, probably coming back to the bottom of this channel to find support here. So something to keep an eye on. Weekly here, you see we hit the top of this candle and we're starting to come back down. So it's very likely if we have another down day, you might see us start to retrace this candle down again towards that 393 area. Hopefully that's not the case, but it very well could be So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Triple Qs, you see a little rejection here off that deviation band. Holding it right here. It looks like it might be rejecting off of it, but it has not completed yet. It's got to get below that 100-day moving average again. Semiconductors kind of been grinding up here in this narrow channel. It's above the, see where it kind of got above here before pulling back off the deviation bands. This one just kind of barely was underneath it, but we're back again above it like we were before. So definitely keep an eye on this to see if this is going to, curve down here, maybe find support and bounce. You can see here, this is kind of where this line comes from because it's kind of a trend line that was coming up. So we'll see if we get support there or break through it. IWM, nice grind up here towards this high. You can see here, this is 190.44 would be resistance. We're kind of curling flat. We're kind of flattening out here. So it's very well we could consolidate and try to break out again. If we fail to break out, then obviously we're going to start coming back down, retesting some of these areas. Financials looking weak, a little bit weak as well. Looks like it's starting to curl down. Double bottom here, starting to get back up, towards this neckline and just kind of pull back here. Energy sector. Energy was trying to make this run back up. Kind of pull back here. It's kind of flat. It's not, it's kind of making, a bull flag here. So it very well could, continue to run up. We'll see what happens. Definitely have a few days here, but pull back on energy. Bitcoin up towards the top of the bands here. You can see this double top now, curling down, but definitely holding this upper area, which is more likely to be able to bounce out here. Maybe over the next weekend or something, you can get a run at it. Looking at Ethereum, same thing. You see it just kind of cranking up here, trying to figure out, where to break out. So we'll see if Ethereum can do that. But Ethereum, and Bitcoin, they're at least moving and trying to move in the right direction. So that's our stocks, our cryptos, things we're looking for in the market, our numbers. Definitely join our Discord, and that way you can get our information on a daily basis through the market as we trade stocks and crypto. But that's our video for tonight. Hopefully this will help you in your preparation and your trading tomorrow. Talk tomorrow night, see how your trades went, and plan on our next day. Everybody have a great night.